decades, the river was an industrial sewer. Yes, factories along its banks routinely dumped industrial waste and dangerous chemicals into the water. A push to clean up the Hudson began in the 1960s. It wasn't until '84 when the EPA designated 200 miles of its length a Superfund site that kicked into high gear. The years-long effort would take the Hudson from a state of neglect to one of the most carefully monitored rivers in the United States. And Riverkeeper is an advocacy group started by a fisherman. It's been at the forefront of it ever since. Its president, Tracy Brown, is with me. Tracy, how wonderful to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Let's just get brass knuckle stuff. How clean is it?
It's cleaner than it's been in over a century. The water quality varies depending on if the tide's coming in from the Atlantic Ocean or coming down from the rest of the system and whether or not it's raining.
Can I swim in it?
You can swim in it so long as it hasn't rained for 24 hours.
Oh, so the rain doesn't sort of dilute the sewage, the rain will bring more of it down?
Yeah, so we have a very old combined sewer system at 60% of the city. So every time it rains, some part of that system is discharging untreated sewage and the rain into the waterways.
Ooh.
Yes.
And what about toxins from factories and things and the old, chemicals? Has that all been cleared out?
For the most part, in terms of the active dumping of industrial waste, that has stopped. We do still have some serious legacy contaminants from the bad old days, like the PCBs that you referenced. We also have a couple Superfund sites on the East River that we're still working to clean up.
So how would you describe the quality of the water?
I swim in the Hudson River
You
every
do?
chance I get north of here in Westchester. I would swim here on a dry day, given the chance, but you just have to be smart. You have to know. And the nice thing about getting in the river, if you're paddling or sailing or swimming, is it starts that virtuous feedback cycle that you fall in love with it and then you want to protect it more.
Right, so when we're talking about swimming in the river or getting into the water, to the extent, I mean, it's not an open sewer like it was 40 years ago, 100 years ago.
I mean, but New York City, not to let them off the hook, New York City needs to do better, and there's no reason to have a modern city like New York that doesn't have enough wastewater treatment capacity to take care of the sewage we're producing. And that is still the state of affairs in New York City. So we need to do better. To give you a sense of scale, every year, the equivalent of 72 Empire State Buildings full of sewage is dumped into the Hudson through our combined sewer system. It's a profound problem.
You just put me off my lunch. Or my dinner. But the ability to enjoy it with recreational craft is very important, isn't it?
Yeah, and this, I know you're here talking about infrastructure. We had a plan years ago in the 80s to build a highway along the side of the Hudson right here where we now have this beautiful Hudson River Park that is so popular with bikes and kayaking and data gathering. So it's really important in these critical moments that we build the right infrastructure and projects that are less disruptive to the river to continue that recreation trajectory.
Ultimately, what more do you need?
Well, we need people to prioritize wastewater, to think about sewage infrastructure, to vote for investments in that when we have a chance to set priorities, and just to continue to get to know this river and build the relationship and take pride as we progress in its recovery.
It's a phenomenal, and the other thing I was thinking, the Hudson River Park, it took a lifetime to get done. And we can arguably say it should have been done a lot sooner. But it was done, and it is one of the greatest attractions, I think, in New York City, whether it's winter, summer, or fall. What do you think?
I think it's been transformational to have this, and to, people live in New York City. It's an archipelago, 40 islands, and a lot of them don't have any relationship with the water. So unless we can create parks and access points for people to get out and see the water, we're not going to really make them stewards of it. So this type of project is critical.
I'm very grateful for you coming in. Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, one day I'll go for a swim with you.
Okay, deal. Let's do it. Let's do it. I would love that.
What have I just agreed? What have I just agreed to?
We'll make sure it's dry weather. We'll take care of you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed.